Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to do an unboxing video, and the movie I'm going to open is North by Northwest, this 4K HD plus Blu-ray box set. In the recent time I have looked at a lot of Hitchcock movies because he's my favorite director. And I was kind of curious if I could find something a bit more special than just the usual Blu-rays. I was looking at Rear Window particularly because it's my favorite Hitchcock movie, and there was like a Steelbook of that, but I didn't think it looked that well. And I also looked at Vertigo and some other Hitchcock movies, but it was this one from North by Northwest that particularly had my interest because it looked like it had a lot of bonus material. And then I thought, this I have to get, even though it's quite expensive. But I was looking at eBay, and this looked like it was the cheapest version I could get. And for fun detail, I don't even have 4K TV, but I have a Blu-ray, so I can't watch this because there is a Blu-ray in it, or at least I hope. But let's open this together and see what it has. And I have seen a lot of YouTubers, they're doing these types of unboxing videos, and I thought, why not do it myself? It's a bit difficult, this one. So, you can see it here. Clearly, I hope so. And the back. Let's see what it has inside. Ooh, incredible. Here we have the Steelbook. Doesn't this look good? I think it's quite cool. And I also think it looks cooler than the Blu-ray I have of it. What does it have inside? Yeah, here you can see inside, there's a Blu-ray here in the top and a 4K version here, which I can't see, but perhaps one day. And then you can see Cary Grant here. Yeah. And a fun thing about North by Northwest, I have reviewed this on my channel some years ago, but the first time I watched North by Northwest, I was slightly disappointed by it. I kind of had the same feeling of this as I had with the 39 Steps, from the 40s. No, sorry, 30s, which is a bit similar in tone, I sort of expected more of them, but, the more I have seen them since, the more I like them, They are classic Hitchcock films, and I think they are one of... They both deserve to be in a top 10 Hitchcock list, I would say myself, because I think they have a very great pace and great scenes and wonderful leading actors, In North by Northwest, look at the cast. You have Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, which is one of my favorite Hitchcock blondes, I only prefer Grace Kelly slightly more, her performance in Rear Window and to Catch a Thief, but after that I think Eva Marie Saint is my favorite. I even prefer her more than Kim Novak and Janet Leigh, but I think she has a great charisma, and she has some wonderful flirtatious scenes with Cary Grant in this, but of course you also have James Mason as the villain, who's an outstanding actor as well, and Martin Landau are also great faces and wonderful voice they have, yeah, and I've said this before. I think my only issue with North by Northwest is really the ending. I still find that to be the weakest when they are on Mount Rushmore. It looks spectacular, but I've always felt it's a bit too long, but yeah, it's my only issue with it. Then you have some bonus material here, and you can see the letters here. It stands from Roger O. Thornhill, Cary Grant's character's name. And let's see what it has inside here. A lot of interesting stuff. Ooh. Very, very cool. Let me see. What do we have here? What do we have here? Some posters, I imagine. Yeah, I think it is a poster. Oof, 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 oof. I think there's two posters. We have this and that. Perhaps not the best quality, but it's still cool, you know. Then we have a card here. I can put this in a book when I'm reading a book. And then here there's a book of North by Northwest. And you have the back side here. It's good photos. Yeah. There's something. This is what I like. I like when there is material when you can read something about the movies afterwards. And because one of the things I was a bit disappointed by when I was looking for Rear Window was like I didn't think it had that much material, extra material. I think it was more like photos for the movie, and I like that as something I can read. But some great stuff here. Some good photos again. James Mason, can you see him? I hope you can. Incredible, isn't this? Incredible. And Hitchcock himself, the master of suspense. Yeah. Yeah, North by Northwest is a special movie, you know, also Bernard Herrmann's score, you know. It sounds so different than his usual score. You know, it's not Vertigo or Psycho, it has a slightly different feel to it. And I think it's a spectacular score. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but I think there's some good photos here I have to check out and of course read it. Then you have some more stuff here. I have to be careful I'm not doing anything stupid and destroying some material here. Ooh. Some artwork. Ooh. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. I don't know if you can see it that clearly, but it is a great photo. Cary Grant and Hitch. You know, a few years ago, my father he had cancer in his esophagus. Isn't that what it's called here in his throat? You know, when you are eating. It was you know, turbulent time. Suddenly he was very sick, and the doctors, they said to him he had to get an operation, otherwise he wouldn't make it. And so it was a very stressful time for the whole family there, and he had to have that operation. But a few days before he had to have that operation, he had a lot of anxiety and wasn't having a good time. But then he said to me, can we watch North by Northwest? And I said, of course, you know. And I thought it's a bit special. One of the few days before he had to have this big operation, he wanted to watch North by Northwest, and he did go through the operation and he survived. So he is doing okay today. He doesn't have cancer now, so that's good. Look at this. Some drawings. Isn't that cool? I love some artwork, you know, so you can see sort of some creative sides who is making some drawings. Isn't that cool? Wow. It's almost like it almost feels like caricatures, but in a cool way, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I think North by Northwest is a unique film in Hitchcock's resume, you know? Perhaps it's the ultimate Hitchcock movie in terms of the spectacle, you know? So, yeah, I'm very curious to see this, even though I have seen it before, but watching it on this Blu-ray, I hope I can see it. Otherwise, it will be a bit embarrassing. But yeah, again, I think this looks very cool. And you know, I don't have any Hitchcock Steelbooks, so now I'm a bit proud to have this. So yeah, I hope some of you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments if you have this Steelbook or perhaps other Hitchcock Steelbooks, or just some Steelbooks you're very proud of. I hope you will all have a very nice day. Bye.